How stupid, and more specifically innumerate, do Barack Obama and his campaign think his base or whatever of black voters is? Most of you already know about the Obama campaign's Got Your Back radio ad targeting black voters, and you may have become aware of Obama's bizarre use of slang and incorrect grammar in that ad, which Glenn Beck and others have called out as totally insulting and condescending. But listen to this part from the ad, which, as I'll explain right after I play it, may be even more condescending, as it suggests how stupid and uninformed Barack Obama must think his black base, or whoever, must be.
I'm running to make sure that by the end of the decade, more of our citizens hold a college degree than any other nation on earth.
Now, one huge problem, among others, with that statement by Obama. That problem is that the U.S. already has more of its citizens holding college degrees than in any other nation on earth. Not even close. And by the way, Barack Obama, brilliant former law review president or whatever, I didn't say than any other nation on earth. I said the correct version, than in any other nation on earth. Actually, that's a message for whoever was running the teleprompter that day. But I digress. The U.S. has a population of about 313 million, which is the third highest on the planet. Only India and China have larger populations, but only a very small percentage of living adults in those only recently developed countries, if even that, have college degrees. Way under 10% of their populations. Now, the College Board did conduct a fairly recent study in 2007 about the percentages of 25 to 34-year-olds and of 55 to 64-year-olds with college degrees, and the U.S. ranked near the top, 12th in 25 to 34-year-olds and 4th in 55 to 64-year-olds, but not in first. However, Barack Obama, in that clip, assuming he knows how to construct a sentence properly, wasn't talking about percentages, he was talking about absolute numbers. Russia, the only country that's even remotely close in terms of absolute numbers, did rank higher on percentages, but Russia has a population of about 143 million. Only about 40 to 45% of the population of that of the U.S. In absolute numbers, it's not even close. The U.S. is way ahead. The countries that rank ahead of the U.S. on one, not necessarily two of those segments of the population are much smaller, not to mention less black and Hispanic in population. We're talking countries like Finland, Estonia, Canada, New Zealand, and Israel. And in general here, some of those countries, probably Israel especially, probably have been well ahead of the U.S. in terms of percentage of its population with college degrees for decades. So you know, Mr. Columbia, Mr. Harvard, Mr. President of the Harvard Law Review, that's great that by the end of the decade, more of our citizens would hold a college degree than in any other nation on earth. It's not even close. Basically, all you have to do as president to achieve such an accomplishment is to avoid shutting down the American university system altogether and to avoid having a devastatingly catastrophic plague which would severely cull the numbers of American citizens with college degrees. What a crock. How stupid does he think all of us, especially his black base, are?